I'm doing everything. What more could he want? What more could I be doing? Like, tell me, because like I'm doing everything. If you stretch harder, if you love more, if you give more, you still feel like you're failing. You still feel like you're falling short because your giving is not coming from your own power. It's coming from lessening your power, and it's coming from self-abandonment.
Welcome to the Marriage Magnet podcast, where it's not just about attracting the one, it's about becoming the one. I'm your host, Nechama Phillips, and here we focus on growth, high standards, and creating an intentional life and love through self-development. Navigate your dating journey with clarity and confidence, because marriage is not just a box you check off, it's your life.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Marriage Magnet podcast. Today, I'm going to be doing another song lyric breakdown, and the song that we're going to be doing is Bejeweled by Taylor Swift. Now, the reason I like to do these pop song breakdowns is because sometimes messages in songs that we're listening to are really positive, sometimes they're really negative, and sometimes they have seeds of truth, but the way that it's presented or the way that it's framed is harmful in certain ways, and it's like it skews the good message. So I actually, overall, if I had to say if I think this song is like a healthy song, you know what? It's hard to even say in either direction. It's so nuanced. I think that this song has so much nuance in it about being like appreciating yourself and being strong within yourself and knowing your own value, but also knowing how to do that within relationships, especially in long-term relationships. So I think my married women are really going to appreciate this, because this is something that I think a lot of married women can relate to, because once the newness of a relationship wears off, we sometimes feel like we are losing our shine. Maybe it's it's the long-term aspect, and it's like you want to retain the spark. Maybe it's like motherhood and loss of identity. I will say, though, for single women who are listening to this and seeing this as an anthem of like remembering your own value, I think in a way I would say I would lean towards healthy when we're talking about a single woman. When we're talking about a married woman, you'll see in certain, like, I'll go through all the lyrics and give my thoughts on each one, but like certain ones are just like, no, that's not necessarily the best way to act. Like, no, that's not necessarily the best way to go about something. If you are feeling this way, there's a different way to go about it. There's a different way to communicate it. Speaking of married women, if this is an episode that you like, or if in general you are relating to even what I just said so far about just wanting to connect more with your husband, wanting to connect more with yourself, and to get your shine back and get your sparkle back, or keep your spark within your marriage, like I'm creating some resources for you at the moment. Check out the description or show notes below. There's a link for you to sign up completely free to a wait list, where once this resource is ready, I'm going to send it to you right away. So definitely sign up for that, and just stay tuned for what's coming next for my married women, because it's going to be awesome. So yeah, just the framing of like, if you're single, I would say it leans towards pretty healthy, positive messaging. If you're married or in a committed long-term relationship, I think there are different ways that we could communicate similar messages that are healthier. And so I'll share that nuance as I go through it. Okay. So we'll just start with the first verse. Okay. So it says, "Baby love, I think I've been a little too kind. Didn't notice you walking all over my peace of mind." So at first I would say, yes, right? We don't want to overgive to the point where someone is where we feel like people are taking advantage of us, and where we feel like we're overgiving and overfunctioning and people are not appreciating us. So it's interesting, though, because she's saying like, I've been a little too kind. And I'm like, I don't know if that's kind. It's maybe people pleasing, right? There's a difference between kindness and generosity and love for the sake of like pure love that's coming from pure giving, from wholehearted, I want to be there for you. You know, like just, it's like it's in your power. It's not taking away your power. Because sometimes being kind, or what looks like kindness, which is actually more like people pleasing, is also like a defense mechanism. It's like, I'm trying to earn love. I'm trying to be enough. And maybe I'm trying to be low maintenance. I'm trying to be flexible. I'm trying to be like, oh, like I've been a little bit too kind, and therefore you're walking all over my peace of mind. It's like, I don't know if that's actually kindness. We just have to take a look at that and ask ourselves, like, does nice mean being invisible? Does kind mean letting someone walk all over you and for you to lose your peace of mind? Like, that's not actually what kindness is. And sometimes we really mistake it, especially in marriage. I actually had someone who just said this on a consultation call the other day, and she was wanting one-on-one coaching for within her marriage. And she was like, whatever I do is just not enough. Like, I do so much. I do everything. Like, I do so much for him. I do so much. Like, she was just so confused. Like, she kept saying this over and over. Like, I'm doing everything. Why doesn't he see me? Like, why aren't I happy? Like, why don't I feel good about myself? Like, I'm doing everything. And so I think it's so important, especially within marriage, to not put constraints on your giving, but to make sure that it's coming from a really good place, because women, hopefully and naturally speaking, will give when they love someone, when they love their husband and their family, and it's a great thing. It just has to come from the right place. Then she says, in the shoes I gave you as a present, meaning I gave you the power to walk all over my peace of mind, which I'm happy she's admitting, I guess, right? Putting someone first only works when you're in their top 5, which I agree, right? Putting someone first, you need to be in a position where you know they value you, right? And that's why I tell my single women when they're dating to be like super cautious about being extra giving, extra people-pleasing, not keeping your boundaries because this person has not yet committed to you. It's so different to be in a healthy, happy marriage where you are giving so much and being so open and being so vulnerable and, just giving all the love that we as women have to give and the nurturing. But like to do it in a capacity where you're not in a committed, safe, healthy, happy relationship, that's risky. So it only works, which is true. I agree. It only works to give and to really be there for someone and love them and give everything you can when they are also putting you in their top 5, so to speak, or top 1. they are giving that value to you back. And then she says, and by the way, I'm going out tonight. So single women, go ahead. Married women, maybe not, unless you're going out with your friends. But it's really about, I think, the moment that she's remembering, like, wait, what about me? What about the attention that I want? What about the noticing and just the value that I want to feel from you? Because if I'm giving and giving and giving and giving to you and you don't notice me and you're not giving me that safety and that commitment and that love and attention back, then why am I here? Like, let me go out and remind myself of that I still got it, that I still sparkle, that I still shine, that I still have it. It's deciding I don't want to wait and expect you to do that for me because I don't know if it's going to happen, right? So if you're single, this concept is like, if you're feeling this from someone, I think that's your answer right there. Like, if you're constantly waiting for validation and you're constantly waiting for, him to appreciate you and to recognize you and to give you that attention, like, that's not good enough. It's just not. If you're married, there's so much else you could do, but by saying, like, I give up, I'm going out, I need other people to validate me, it's basically putting your power into someone else's hands. It's like you're with this guy, let's say you're married, so he's your husband, he's not giving you the attention that you need, and instead of giving yourself the attention that you need or working it through and communicating, you're like, let me just go find it from someone else who will probably also give it to me for the first 5 minutes and then forget about me. Because that is, right, what we have to work on when we're in long-term relationships. How do we keep the spark alive? How do we stay connected? How do we give each other what we need, even when it's not fresh and new? So yeah, I think for I'm going out tonight for married women, it's probably super important to ask yourself, what's my version of going out? Like, what, maybe buy yourself a new outfit, just like do something fun with friends, connect to yourself, do some journaling, do like a hobby that you appreciate, just like do something that reminds you of your own worth, that like you're still alive, you still got it, you're still valuable, even if someone else, even your husband, is not giving you that attention and that recognition that you want in this moment. Then the chorus is, best believe I'm still bejeweled. When I walk in the room, I can still make the whole place shimmer. Okay, hold on. Where am I breaking it up? Yeah, basically this whole chorus, and it says, familiarity breeds contempt. Don't put me in the basement when I want the penthouse of your heart. This is actually it's so good. It's so good. We all know Taylor Swift. The lyrics are great. But it's really like refusing to be taken for granted. That's what it's saying. Like, I refuse to be taken for granted. It's realizing maybe I've been too nice. Maybe I've been overgiving. Maybe I've been people pleasing. Maybe I've been neglecting myself. I've been neglecting my own needs by not expressing to you that I needed more from you. Maybe I was just like, I'm tired of my own acceptance of the basement and not the penthouse of your heart. Like, I'm tired of that acceptance. And like, I want to remember my own energy. I want to remember my own power. I want to remember that, like, you know, I still shine, and I have what to give. I have it. I still got it. Like, that's really what you want, your own, reclaiming your own, like, glow. That's really what this chorus is about. And I think, like, the whole familiarity breeds contempt. Like, it hits married women so hard. It really does. If you know, you know. Like, sometimes the comfort that we work so hard to build, and that, like, familiarity and that safety that we crave, that we're like, I just want that stability. I just want that, like, comfort. And it actually breeds negative feelings. It actually breeds, like, getting too comfortable to the point where you forget to give each other what you need. You forget yourself in the process. And it's like, that's the same reason that you wanted to feel stable and safe in a relationship is the same reason that you're now feeling, like, overlooked. And it's such a hard thing to, like, reconcile. And that's what we really have to remind ourselves, this whole chorus of, like, I'm not willing to dim myself for love, but I'm not willing to dim myself ever. Whether it's you, or if you're dating, whether it's you or it's someone else, I'm not willing to dim myself. In a marriage, whether you give me what I need today, or maybe it takes another few months till we have a bunch more conversations and we get to a place where we're both feeling better about things. Like, either way, I don't choose to dim myself. Either way, I choose to remember my own sparkle and to go out, quote unquote, to take care of myself, to be there for myself, to remind myself of my own, like, shine. And then she goes on to say, I think I've been too good of a girl. I think this is really repeating that same message of, like, what does it mean too good? You should be good. You should be too good. You should be amazing. There's nothing wrong with being too good. It's only if you're not appreciated that it really hurts and that it feels so bad. And this is really like being a martyr, basically. Like, a high-functioning martyr is like someone who is just, like, giving and doing and being so good. And what does good mean? Good, a lot of times in this context, just means a woman who is overperforming. Maybe she's keeping the house running, she's holding it all together, and she's losing herself in the process. You could be good, or you can seem good and be deeply resentful about it, right? You could be really good and feel really unseen. And so it's not really what the word good means. And I think it's just about using it differently and realizing that being too good means I decided that it was worth competing and fighting and proving my worth to someone instead of recognizing it. All right? Instead of communicating my needs, I am just hoping that my actions make someone give me what I need. And so that's not actually goodness. That's really people pleasing, which goes straight into this and reminds me so much of that woman that I just spoke to, is did all the extra credit, then got graded on a curve. So this one is like, I'm doing everything. This is what she said, right? I'm doing everything. What more could he want? What more could I be doing? Like, tell me, because, like, I'm doing everything. So if you stretch harder, if you love more, if you give more, you still feel like you're failing. You still feel like you're falling short because your giving is not coming from your own power. It's coming from lessening your power, and it's coming from self-abandonment, really, right? It's not coming from you feeling like, I am so grateful and happy and would love to give. It's like, I'm just giving to prove something, and I keep abandoning myself in the process. And then it goes, I think it's time to teach some lessons. I made you my world. Have you heard I can reclaim the land? So this is really just the moment that you realize, if you're dating, I hope this is when you walk away. If you're married, and again, the reason it's so different is because if you're dating someone and in the newness and freshness and excitement of meeting someone new and developing a relationship, you feel this way, out. Like, no. If you feel this way in a healthy, happy marriage where long-term life gets to you and time passes and you need to work hard on reclaiming that spark and feeling valuable again and all of that. That is normal, as long as, again, he's a good guy and you're in a relationship where it's okay to do. That's like healthy hard work where you put into a marriage, and this in the dating process is definitely not a good sign. But yeah, basically, like, it's time to teach some lessons. I made you my world. I can reclaim the land. Like, realizing I gave too much of myself away, and like now I'm deciding, like, I'm coming home to myself. I don't have to like hate you or whatever to decide to reclaim myself, right? If you're breaking up with someone, it's like, I don't have to say you're the worst person in the world, like, this is horrible. I just have to be like, you know what? This is not it for me. This is not giving me what I need. Like, I feel like I'm being put in a position where I'm giving and I'm over functioning to get zero back in return. Like, I'm sure you don't have terrible intentions. Maybe you're not a bad guy, but like, I get to decide that, like, I don't have to hate you in order to value myself and put myself first. I don't have to, like, and same thing with a marriage. Like, I don't have to burn everything down. I don't have to like give up to come back into alignment with myself, and for us to come back to an alignment within our marriage. We just have to decide that we're both worthy of it again. We have to decide, maybe 5 years into a marriage with 2 kids, that you're doing things with more intention, and that you need to put in certain kinds of effort that maybe you haven't had in the past. Like, there's just certain things that you need to grow within the relationship and within your own life, and to decide that that's something that you want to do. And then again, the chorus repeats, and then I think this is the bridge. It's basically saying, sapphire tears on my face, sadness became my whole sky, but some guy said my aura's moonstone just because he was high. It's basically saying, like, I'm starting to forget what feeling valuable and feeling cherished looks like and feels like in this relationship. If I'm dating, maybe it's the feeling of like things are going, or you think things are going well, but you're getting to a point where you're like, wait, I don't know who I am anymore. Like, I don't know if this is what I want. I don't actually like this. I don't actually feel good. So like, even like a half compliment from someone, some random guy is like, oh, and you're just like, wow, so nice. Meanwhile, it's like, it's a fraction of what you actually want. It's just you're feeling already so bad about yourself. And within a marriage, it's as well, it's dangerous, right? Because we can get to the point where if we don't put ourselves first and we don't remember our sparkle and remember to shine and ask for what we need in our relationship and continue to consciously connect, it's like, that's when you start looking outside of yourself, and hopefully not, God forbid, your marriage to get complimented or to get noticed, even when it's like, it's worth nothing, right? It's like a silly compliment, a half compliment, but you're starving for that attention. And so we always have to keep in mind, I get to take care of myself first. I get to own my sparkle and my shine no matter what, in dating and within marriage. And then in a relationship, I have to remember to put that at the forefront, remember and decide that I'm willing to consciously connect and communicate my needs. And then she goes, we're dancing all night. You can try to change my mind, but you might have to wait in line. What's a girl gonna do? A diamond's gotta shine, right? That's like the moment where you're remembering, like, I gotta shine regardless. Like, that's who I am. Like, I'm not willing to dim myself, right? And it's like, if you want to change my mind to this guy that she's in a relationship with, if you want to say, no, I really do appreciate you, whatever, you gotta wait in line, because there's other people that are also willing to appreciate me. Like, it's just the moment of remembering your worth, that you're not willing to settle for less than that. And then, then the chorus repeats. But basically, some of the key takeaways is that you can actually really be loved and still feel invisible, still feel unappreciated. And it's so, so important that even if you're chosen by someone, that you want to feel cherished, you want to feel really, really valued, you have to do it for yourself, and you have to communicate in a way that allows the connection to consistently, like, flourish for both of you. That's in a long-term relationship. Also, another lesson is that, like, if you want to reclaim your sparkle and your shine and remember who you are, it's mostly a solitary job. That's what I think would be a healthy takeaway from this, is like, you don't need a guy to do that. You don't need your husband to do that. These things are nice. They're bonuses, but you don't actually need that to remember who you are. It's about realizing, I get to remember who I am the whole time, right? Like, in my marriage, I get to remember this and act on this every single day. because I get to choose who I'm going to be and how I'm going to view myself. And probably that's the most important thing of all, regardless. Another really key point that I think is a good takeaway is being good doesn't mean sacrificing. Being good doesn't mean people-pleasing. Giving does not equal people-pleasing. It's such an important thing to remember. You can love so deeply. You can love so fully. You can give so much of yourself without feeling invisible, without disappearing, without losing yourself in the process. It's so important to ask yourself how you're going to define giving, how you're going to define good. How are you going to define caring about the people you love while also prioritizing yourself? And then I guess the last lesson that I would take away from here is if you are single and you're dating and you feel like you're in the basement of someone's heart, like, how are you going to choose to change that? Whether that's going to be walking away or whether that's going to be asking if the person can meet you where you need them to be. And if you are married, right, and you've outgrown maybe the version of the relationship that you've had in those first couple of years, maybe it's time to have a loving and honest conversation with yourself, again, about like reclaiming your own sparkle for yourself, regardless of your circumstances. And then also have those high standards in your marriage. Ask for what you need. Ask for what would make you feel better about things, connect better, and decide you're worthy of the relationship growing with you and always being able to meet your needs and being that healthy, happy, wholesome, loving, fulfilling relationship that you know you were made for, you know you deserve, you know you probably had at one point, but maybe it started fading. You just need a little bit of conscious reconnection. So I hope that this episode inspired you, whether you're single and dating or you're married, to reclaim your own sparkle and to remember to shine. You don't need the permission. Just own yourself. And I think overall, maybe when you listen to the song, it can be a reframe of like choosing who you want to be to yourself first and allow everything else to flow from that. I hope that this was valuable for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.